Here we go. Episode number 30 of the Hardline Sports Talk. John Michael Messeri, Michael Merlo here with you. JM, how you doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Definitely can't complain. My New York Mets got another one tonight. Another win.
Look
That's
at them.
5 straight.
Getting your hopes up just to take your heart and slam it down again for the fourth time.
The fourth time. 5 straight here. Now listen, we're playing meaningful games in September. We're gonna get to them in a little bit. Of course, they can't go a week or even 3 days without some type of drama, and there's more with them. We'll get to them in a little bit, but I do want to start off with the NFL and a major cut in the NFL, which was a massive surprise. Cam Newton getting cut from the New England Patriots. I think it was kind of obvious that there was a quarterback competition going on there in New England between him and rookie quarterback Mac Jones. But not only did Bill Belichick decide to just completely go with Mac Jones to be the starter, he cuts Cam off the roster, which to me, listen, I think he's clear that he wants to give Mac Jones the keys right away, and he doesn't want to. I don't even know if it's him wanting to be tempted, but he doesn't want any distractions here. And I think also Cam's vaccination status was an issue, but that's a topic, that we can discuss for a lot. But I'm really surprised they ended up completely cutting Cam Newton.
Yeah, me too. I think Mac Jones should have been the starter. I think we could agree on that. I am very surprised that they cut him. Now, Newton's contract obviously plays a factor, but it was a little different. Wasn't it like extremely incentive based?
Yes, I think it was like a base, whatever the league minimum is, and then it could have gotten up to whatever.
Yeah, it was something like
said it was
1.5 million, like nothing crazy, but yeah, it could get up to 10 million or something like that based off incentives. So yeah, the cut doesn't really make much sense to me because all those incentives aren't guaranteed money. So, it's not like he's taking up a bunch of cap space and whatever, but yeah, it's a surprising move. I don't necessarily know if Cam Newton's going to play in the NFL this year. My guess is he will. Maybe, I don't know if he'll play, but I think he'll be on a roster. I would be very surprised if he doesn't end up on a roster. Somebody's going to get hurt. Someone will go down. But right now, it doesn't look good for him at all. I saw something about Mike McCarthy. The Cowboys were interested in him, and he said, we're comfortable with the group of guys we got. He respects Cam Newton, thinks he's a good quarterback, but they feel comfortable with the guys they have. So, yeah, shocking move, and I don't know what Cam Newton's future looks like right now.
I think
You think he's done?
I think he's done. I think there's a stat that in the last 15 years, he's taken the most hits from a quarterback. Like the last 15 seasons, out of every quarterback running or passing being sacked, he's taken the most hits, and it's not even close. It's about 1,500 hits. So just add that on top of everything else that's going on. I mean, unfortunately, he was a very exciting player, and I've never been a massive fan of him. He was a very exciting player at one point. His arm, his body has completely deteriorated. I don't know what he is at this point. And I brought up him not being vaccinated. A lot of coaches and teams are going to really take that into account when they bring in not only players. Like if you're a linebacker or a lineman, I think it'll be a little different. But if you're a quarterback, whether you're being brought in to be a starter or a backup, I think there's going to be a lot, that decision is going to be weighed heavily whether or not you're vaccinated, because you don't want to bring somebody in that has that much of a risk. So they had an issue a week before with Cam having to go get a test outside of camp and having to stay in for 5 days or whatever it was. So they were pretty frustrated with that. It just seems like the Bill Belichick way here. That's what they're going with.
Right. Yeah, I'm just looking at Cam Newton's stats right here. And I was going to say, you said you think he's done. I think he's been done for 2 years, to be honest with you. I mean, we know the special talent that Cam Newton was in Carolina, won a Super Bowl. Won an MVP, took them to the Super Bowl. But I mean, I'm looking at the numbers right now, and not even from a just statistics standpoint, just from a games played standpoint. He played 2 games in 2019, and I remember going into that season, there were already questions about his shoulder and his overall health. And then he got hurt week 2 and was out for the whole year. And it was like, all right, it looks like it's the end of the road here for Cam Newton. And then we know that he went to New England last year. And listen, there was a lot. The guy went through some stuff last year with COVID and whatnot and coming to a new team, but way too many excuses were put out for this guy, in my opinion. I mean, they were saying, oh, he was 2 weeks behind because he missed because of COVID. So he's trying to stay up with the team.
That's BS.
Come on. Maybe that'll hold him back a little bit, but throwing 8 touchdowns in however 13 games he played, like, that's not because he wasn't up to date with the playbook and couldn't get up to game speed because of COVID. Like, Cam Newton, like I said, is great talent. He could still run decently well, not the way he used to, but I think the arm obviously is what has deteriorated the most.
I think you talk about last year. I think just you could put an excuse on the fact that they had absolutely no weapons last year.
Right.
It was one of the worst offensive core weapon-wise in the league. So I think that right there is the only excuse. I think COVID, yeah, obviously was held back, but let's not act like he was in every meeting, most likely, virtually. So I don't buy that he was behind.
Well, my whole thing with that is with all the excuses, like, yes, that is a valid excuse that, 8 guys opted out of the season. Key players for the Patriots opted out, the weapons, the COVID, this and that. But I think, everybody gets too wrapped up in those excuses and uses them too much. And you're like, hold on, what happened in just the eye test? I watched, I remember I picked the Patriots in a survivor pool last year. And it actually was what ended my survivor pool. It was like week 7, they're playing the Broncos. And Cam Newton's in the game. They're trying to get a game-winning drive going. And I'm just watching him. They're really testing Cam Newton now. It's a 2-minute drill. He's got to air it out, throw the ball down the field. And he goes to throw a 11-yard, like, crossing route and underthrows him by like 2 yards and just a lot of inaccurate throws. And obviously that's not the only game I watched. I watched, his whole season for a couple glimpses of it. But yeah, in terms of the eye test, you could tell he was pondering that shoulder. The strength is not there. The accuracy is not there. I think he's a little bit happy feet in the pocket. I think when you get hit that much over your career, I think that's going to be in the back of your mind that I've been hit so much and I don't want to get hit again. So I'm going to get rid of this. Or, right as you're about to release that ball, it's in the back of your head. Like, I might get clocked right now. So yeah, like I said, I think Cam Newton, listen, if he wants to keep his career going, he can do whatever he wants, try to, salvage his career, whatever. But I don't think he's anything more than a decent backup. He'd be a good backup. He's like a Gardner Minshew type. He'd be a good backup for a team, but that's all I think he is.
I think he's a good backup, but again, when you add his, I think he's a risk no matter what. I think he's an injury risk. I think he's a distraction risk. And now I think he's a locker room risk with not being vaccinated, just like any of these guys. But I agree. If we're just basing it off of talent, I think he's one of the better backups in the league. I don't think he's one of the best 32 quarterbacks, like he said in the HBO, The Shop, show that Brady was on and a bunch of other athletes go on. He claims he's one of the best 32 quarterbacks. And we had said then that he wasn't. And I think it's clear now Bill Belichick doesn't. But now to look at the other side of this, I mean, Mac Jones is being put in a massive spot here. Right. And he had, according to Pro Football Focus, the best preseason out of any rookie, I want to say rookie quarterback ever. His grade was better than anybody else's. Right. Take that how you want, but still, I'm excited to see him. I think he's going to be impressive. I think he's in the right system, but I don't know. I think they're ready to take that next step. I think he's ready to take that next step. I don't know if they have the talent on offense to do it.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, Mac Jones is being put in a big spot, coming in as a rookie, playing for the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. I think he's ready for it. I think, like we said, he's one of the most pro-ready quarterbacks. How about this? I think, call me crazy, he might be one of, if not the most pressured rookie quarterback this year. I think now that he's just getting
100%.
now that he's just getting thrown right into the fire. This is a guy. Listen, your Zach Wilsons and especially your Trey Lances and your Justin Fields, they're not gonna be expected to light the league on fire, when they come in. And I don't think people expect Mac Jones to do the same thing, but there's kind of more of a patient project stigma around Fields and Lance, especially. And Mac Jones everybody's talking about, he played in a pro style offense at Alabama. He's playing for Bill Belichick. He's a Brady type quarterback. He fits perfectly into this system. So I think, the Patriots are an aging roster. They're not the youngest roster out there. Just made a bunch of free agent signings. They still have some guys on defense that are getting up there in age now, and Dante Hightower and Devin McCourty and other guys like that. So I think this team's going to be expected, obviously, to perform well, and that comes hand in hand with the quarterback is expected to perform well. So I think Mac Jones has a decent amount of pressure put on him in his rookie season.
I think you're right. Probably Lawrence just because he's number one, but I think Jones is two because there's playoff expectations, and I do think they're going to get one of those wild card teams spots. I think they're one of the better teams in the AFC, but I'm not gonna say they're going to win a playoff game. I was listening to Mike Greenberg this morning saying they're going to win the division and they're going to win a playoff game. Like, all right, calm down. He also said that the Titans are going to be the number one seed in the AFC. Ugh. So
here's my thing too. What is the Patriots, and this is why Mac Jones has so much pressure on him, what is the Patriots safety net here? Like, if Mac Jones was performing terribly, you would say, they could go to Cam Newton. Cam Newton's gone now. So was it Jarrett Stidham time? Yeah, I don't even know who else is on that roster. So, they just spent a first round pick on this guy. Jarrett Stidham's not the future. So then it's like,
there's nothing else at
this point. If he has like a Tua type rookie season where, he's like a game manager and they're just trying to win as many football games as possible with his performance, then that's why I think he especially has a lot of pressure on him, because there's no real plan B. And I think that's obviously the case for a lot of these rookie quarterbacks, but it's a little different with Jones, because like we said, they have playoff expectations. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a great rookie season for the Jaguars, they're not saying, we need to find a quarterback quick. The Jaguars know this is a multi-year process, but in Chicago, you have Andy Dalton with Justin Fields. In San Francisco, you have Jimmy G with Trey Lance. Patriots, there's nothing, and they're expected to win right away.
I think you're going to say I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here, but I don't think Belichick would have cut Cam if he didn't think Jones was literally just the perfect guy for this offense and in the perfect position to just take the keys over and get this franchise going.
I don't think you're drinking the Kool-Aid there. I mean, I think Bill Belichick's smart enough and he would make a decision like that. He wouldn't make a decision like that if he wasn't 100% sure. I'd say you're drinking the Kool-Aid if you're saying Mac Jones is going to win the league MVP, but you're not saying that, obviously. So
some guys would, though.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick knows what he's doing. I mean, as much as I hate him, he's a smart guy. So, and who likes to cheat a lot? But we'll sweep that under the rug, I guess.
Well, I guess when you're that successful, you get away with it.
That's the thing I never understand. I know football's different, but like, I did it myself as a Yankee fan, especially freaking ripping the Astros apart for that cheating scandal. Bill Belichick's got 3 under his belt. And it's like, greatest coach of all time. It's weird. I don't know.
It's fishy. That's for sure.
I think just because the Astros one has such a bigger impact. Like, you deflate a football. Okay, like that'll give you a little advantage, but what freaking pitch is coming. The way they did it, banging trash cans, like, that's pretty bad.
And it was for like a sustained period of time. Like, it was a long time. Yeah, true. Didn't they say they deflated the football for that AFC championship game?
Right. But
in which they won by 40 points anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that was such a big deal, but I also think if they're deflating them for the AFC championship game, then what would make you think they're not doing it for the divisional game, the week 17, week 16? Like,
that scandal's so stupid, though.
It was a little overblown, but I think Spygate's worse. Do you know, this is a crazy thing. Do you know the Jets used to throw out fake playbooks when they played the Patriots because there were Patriots interns or whoever that would go through their garbage trying to find like playbooks?
That's crazy. Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. So they make fake playbooks and throw them out.
You're right. Spygate's definitely worse than Deflategate.
Yeah.
I mean, also, how do you, if you're a ref on the field and you're touching the ball, almost every play you have to set the ball down. Right. How do you not? That's why I only think it was for one game. That's the only reason why I think it was only one game.
Right.
Because the refs would have noticed. A bunch of refs would have noticed.
Yeah.
Unless guys came out and I don't know about it.
I mean, I think it was slight. I don't think it was crazy, but yeah, it was probably still noticeable.
I don't know how you can. Like the first thing when I pick up a football, especially one that, let's just say sitting in my garage, the first thing I feel and look for is if it's deflated or not.
Right.
Because I like the ball a little deflated.
I don't know. Yeah, of course. Why do you think Tom Brady liked the ball a little deflated?
I think Gronk liked the ball a little deflated.
Yeah. It's easier to catch, easier to throw it further.
I can't wait to do our football picks next week. I'm very excited.
Honestly, I should start them right now. We got a lot of stuff to take care of.
I was doing not like the preseason, like like predictions for Super Bowl division. I was going through the list of spreads. We got to think of something like a point system. Maybe we'll
pick a few games 100%. We'll do that.
Because I joined a survival pool tonight. I'm locked and loaded here.
There you go. Let's go.
I can't wait. I have Deshaun. Was
I'm still doing like a mock a day at least. So
I haven't done a mock. I've been doing a little research here and there. The Athletic has a nice little fantasy, kit or whatever. They do it for baseball. They're doing it for football now too. So I've been looking a little bit, but I don't want to over prepare. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm over prepared for so long.
Yeah, because then you'll change your mind like 6 different times, and it's like, all right, yeah.
I kind of have a feeling of where I want to go here.
Give it a break.
I want to talk about Deshaun Watson because we touched on it last time, but it's really just I don't understand. Well, actually, I do understand where the Dolphins are coming from. I think the Dolphins are trying to get a feel on the whole situation. I think they're not. I don't think they're going to trade for him at all this season, but I think they're trying to get their foot in the door for potentially when this all blows away, if it ever does, and he's good to go, and they still want to trade him, and he still wants to be traded. I think they want to be the first team in the door, the first team that the Texans want to call because they already had dialogue about this guy.
Right. Yes, but the only thing that I question with that is at that point, like, how can you even negotiate that? Because what are the Dolphins saying? Hey, if this case goes away and whatever, this is what we value him at. You know what I mean? Like his value right now is obviously not what it would be if all this legal trouble wasn't around him. So when they're negotiating that and you say they're putting their foot in the door, are they like on terms of when this goes away, we want 3 first-round picks, and like it's just odd to navigate that. And you would think maybe the Dolphins get to a point where they're like, maybe we should just roll the dice with this, buy low, take a risk, and hopefully it hits.
I don't think the Texans' stance is changing just because nothing's came from the NFL yet.
Right.
So I think the Texans are operating as if, this guy's playing week 1 if he wanted to play for their team. And I think the Dolphins are operating as we have no clue what the hell is going on. We have to be careful, but at the same time, we would like to talk about it because obviously they wanted to upgrade that position.
What is like the deal with him even playing? Because, I had a fantasy draft about a week ago, and I take my quarterback, right? And I'm just scrolling through, and I'm like, Holy crap. I literally like where I was like, why do I feel like there's a quarterback missing in these rankings? I'm like, it's Deshaun Watson.
Oh, it's Cam
And
Newton.
yeah, I almost get Cam Newton. Yeah. And it really is true. He's owned in like I think like 23% of fantasy leagues, which is freaking crazy. But yeah, it's like I don't know what is going on with the whole Deshaun Watson situation. If he's going to play, if he's not going to play, it's just very weird. He's not on any exempt list right now from the NFL.
That's the thing.
So is he? Did he ever go to a practice? I thought he did.
He was at a couple of practices, and the Texans have came out and said they are, expected to go through, the first game or whatever the season with him not participating.
Right.
So which means I'm guessing he'll be fined for that. But they're putting him on the 53-man roster. That's what I saw the other day.
Right.
And they're just going to have him not play and be inactive.
That's bizarre. Yeah. Right here. Look. It's not focusing, but
yeah.
See, I can add him. He's owned in. Why? Oh, look.
Oh, Bishop Sycamore?
No. Take a look at these bras. Shop bras online.
Oh, good. Good. Did you see this
Target
Bishop
audience.
Sycamore stuff?
Yes, I did. Right before we get into that. Do you think? I know this might sound crazy. Do you think Deshaun Watson is ever going to play in the NFL again?
Yeah.
You do. I would say yes also.
I don't want to sound insensitive. I think this is all going to go away pretty soon.
Okay. If you asked me that question a couple months ago, I would have said no. But
really?
Yeah. But I would say he's going to play again. The reason why months ago I would have said no, all of a sudden, we heard about Deshaun Watson nonstop. I mean, for months. It literally from like January to May. Deshaun Watson, where's he going to get traded? Where's he going to? And then those, everything came out, and all of a sudden, nothing. He wasn't seen anywhere. He wasn't going to OTAs, this and that. 22 women came out with, civil suits against him. So I would have said no, but I don't know. This is all just like extreme. It's just weird.
I don't think he's going to play this year.
Yeah,
just because I think some kind of suspension will come down. I don't think he'll play for the Texans, and I also don't think the Texans are going to trade him yet.
Do you think he'll ever play a game for the Texans again?
No, I think he'll be traded to Miami. That seems inevitable.
Okay,
that'll be Miami.
Let me raise this to you then, because there's a lot of Tua defenders out there, and I think you're one of them. No,
I like Tua.
Okay, so if you like Tua so much, this is the thing I'm not getting. Why are the Dolphins like actively trying to get Watson? Like, doesn't that tell you like the organization doesn't even believe in the guy? Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. He played one season.
I understand that, and listen, it might all change if Tua breaks out this year and has a very good year. But Deshaun Watson's a 26-year-old top 5 quarterback in the league.
Understandable.
Tua's a young guy.
Understandable. Obviously,
you do what you can to get better.
Talent, but Tua Tagovailoa is also 22 years old. And are you really willing to sacrifice 3 first-round picks and all this future to get Deshaun Watson, who, at that point, I think if you're willing to do that, the difference between Watson and Tua that you see is like massive. Like, they wouldn't go and give 3 first-round picks if they think Tua is going to be a bottom top 10 quarterback in the league.
As long as he's available to play, I think you do what you can, especially if you're the Dolphins when you have the resources.
Right.
But
we can move on to Bishop Sycamore.
A team like the Eagles, it makes absolute, and I'm not just saying it because they're in my division.
The Eagles makes absolute sense.
That makes no sense. I think we can both agree that the Dolphins are close.
I don't care if the Eagles didn't have Jalen Hurts. I don't care if the Eagles just had Joe Flacco. It still makes no sense. You don't have a lot of future, draft picks to trade away, and you're going to do that with all the dead money, cap space money you have right now, and just bad roster. Like, who's Deshaun Watson going to be throwing to? Obviously Devontae Smith, but who's going to be blocking for him? Who's going to be playing defense on
Not Travis Fulgham.
That's not a good. Yeah. not Travis.
That's a terrible.
You think JJ? You think this is the year JJ Arcega-Whiteside breaks out? You think this is finally the year?
100%. Yeah, this has got to be the year. This has got to be the year.
It's got to be. I mean, we've been waiting for what 3 years now or something.
Yeah. No, I mean he's gonna be better than DK Metcalf. Let me read this to you. This is very interesting. I saw this today. Most dead money by seasons. So 2017, the Browns had the most dead money, right, which is basically, money you're paying to players on your team. $50 million. 2018, the Bills went 6-10. They had $69 million. The Dolphins went 5-11 in 2019, $65 million. And then 2020, the Jaguars had the most dead money, $52 million. And they went 1-15. The Eagles lead the league in dead money this year, and it's $50 million. Good luck on that track record to the Eagles, because they're already set up.
What was failure. That? All that from the Jaguars? Is that the Nick Foles contract?
It's got to be part of the Nick Foles. I'm guessing AJ Boye, right?
Yeah.
Ramsey, maybe. Did they ever pay Ramsey? I don't think they paid Ramsey. I think the Rams paid Ramsey.
I think the Rams did. I don't know. Yeah, I think the Rams did pay Ramsey. I think that's why they traded him away, honestly.
Yes, they didn't want to pay him.
Kind of like a Jamal Adams thing.
I find that very interesting, though, about the dead money. I already thought the Eagles were going to be a poverty franchise this season, but I think that kind of locks it in there. The Jets are like second. Like, I looked at this. The Jets are like second or third all those 3 years.
That money? Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mike McCagnon.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell.
No, that sounds like a good idea.
No. Tremaine Johnson.
Oh, that's perfect.
Good signing, yeah.
That sounds like a good signing. That sound right now, it sounds like it would work. Craig Carton's friends with Mike McCagnon.
Oh, well, two idiots.
Good friends, yeah. Evan Roberts wanted Craig to call him the other day, see how he's doing. That would be interesting. See what Mike McCagnon's doing. John Idzik got another job in the NFL. I don't think McCagnon did though. Really? Who was worse? Wasn't Idzik worse?
Idzik was worse. McCagnon, at least they had that 10-6 year. I wouldn't say he had any good draft pick. Like McCagnon's picks. If you looked at McCagnon, people were like, "Oh my God, Mike McCagnon, all these drafts and stuff like that." But he would just get the first round picks right, guys that fell into his lap, like Leonard Williams,
guys,
and Jamal Adams, and Sam Darnold. And then the only thing I credit him with the Sam Darnold thing was they moved up to 3 to get Darnold,
and they made a good deal.
Yeah, but that trade honestly worked out for way better for the Colts. They got Darius Leonard and Quentin Nelson with the 2 picks that the Jets gave them. But no, Idzik was really bad. Yeah, I remember they were flying the planes around for Idzik, fire Idzik with the banner.
Yes,
there was like a website, like a fire Gase thing. They're the same exact thing with Adam Gase.
I remember that, and I'm happy you brought up Adam Gase because I want to bring up the new head coach, Rob Saleh. Rob Saleh was talking in an interview yesterday and said the most impressive trait about Zach Wilson is not the throws he makes. He says those are impressive. Those are great. Those make your jaw drop sometimes. But the most impressive thing about him, and we've actually spoke about this, was him basically in the classroom watching film, the questions he asks, how smart he is, and how he's able to comprehend the whole offense. And that's got to be music to your ears as a Jets fan, because we know how this guy is on the field. We know how ultra talented, how he can most likely make any throw. He's incredible,
right,
from what we've seen from college. But the biggest thing, especially for a young quarterback, is understanding and grasping the offense in the NFL and grasping the game in the NFL. And the fact that he's doing all this should be music to your ears.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a little tone deaf to it because of just hearing the same things about Sam Darnold. So yes, it's very good. I'd rather hear that than hear Zach Wilson doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But I think my point here is, that's nice, but I'm tired of hearing all this stuff, and I'm ready to just see him hit the field. Honestly, like I just want to see him do it, put it all out there on the field. I think Zach is Personally, I think he's ahead of Darnold than when Darnold came to the Jets. I think with everything, obviously, he has better coaching around him. He has better receivers around him, better offensive line around. Everything is better around him. The only thing, I'm sorry, but going to the individual part is what I wanted to say was Zach, I think, is a quicker learner than Sam Darnold was, understands the game a little better. So I think he's a little bit more of like, nothing against Darnold, but I think he's more of a football guy kind of a thing than Darnold was. They say that he's like a film junkie and everything. So yeah, love hearing all these great traits around him. But at this point, like, because I heard Tony Romo say like, "Oh, Zach Wilson's like Aaron Rodgers,
crazy.
or Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes esque." And listen, I love hearing that, but I heard Tony Romo praise Sam Darnold, and I heard Dan Orlovsky go on the radio every single day and talk about how Sam Darnold's going to be a fantastic quarterback, Pro Bowler, this and that. And maybe the talent was there, they just never coached him up. But what I'm kind of trying to say here is it's nice to hear all these things, but I've seen this movie once, so let's make sure it's not a sequel. And I could just see him go out there on the field and confirm what all these people are saying.
It's like, who gives a crap what everybody's saying? You just want to see it happen.
Because there's always, if you go to the Patriots articles and the Niners articles and the Bears and the Jaguars, everybody's saying nice things about these quarterbacks. You don't see people. Oh, some scout comes out for or some coach comes out for the Bears and says, "Oh, Justin Fields doesn't know how to process offenses." So
it's not a smart thing to come out and say your quarterback's got this issue.
As much as I like hearing it, I just want to see the guy play some damn football.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
But so far, he's passed all the tests in the preseason. I'm very impressed.
It's enough of, telling me this guy's great.
Right.
Like, I need to see it. And you'll be there, which is very exciting for his first start.
And I am very interested in also being there for the Jets home opener. Kind of want to make it there, Jets Patriots week 2.
Did you get the tickets yet?
Not yet. It's my birthday weekend. Might have to ask for that for my birthday.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Let's move over to the Giants here, because it's funny. They have an issue, right? And they've had opportunities to fix this issue, and yet now they want to do it. It's like saving all your work in the semester for the end, and then you're scrambling to do all of it and scrambling to do all of it,
right?
Because that's what they're doing. They've made so many pickups for whether it was their practice squad or even to the roster or trades to add to this offensive line. It's like unbelievable. Like, oh, you actually had a player in the draft in which you could have fixed a position of need, which was right tackle, and you just could have stayed at your pick.
Right.
But no, we had to trade down for a wide receiver. Yes, again, like I said last time, it was great to get the extra first-round pick, but the offensive line seems very important to me. They added Circa. He's played with a couple of teams. He was most recently with the Dolphins. They cut him. It was a surprise cut. He plays center and guard. They traded for Ben Beardson from the Baltimore Ravens, who ironically was going to be Kevin Zeitler's backup. So they, like we mentioned last time as well, they traded for Billy Price from the
Kevin Zeitler's on the Ravens.
Yes, that's where he's signed.
Oh.
They're stacked offensive line.
Yeah,
that's gonna be an interesting division. But listen, the Giants need to be better on this offensive line. They ran the ball well. I'm not really concerned about them being able to run the ball and run block, but I am really worried about them protecting Danny Dimes.
Right. And I think, we have a reason to be concerned about that because, like you said, now they're just scrambling and getting all these basically just depth offensive linemen.
Yep.
And I think my main problem with Dave Gettleman and the way he's handled his tenure being with the Giants is I think everything's just been mistimed, if I could word it like that, because you go back to, was this the Saquon draft? That was his first draft.
Saquon was his first draft.
Yeah. So you go to the Saquon pick. They were trying to salvage one last year with Eli. Didn't really make much sense, though, honestly, to pick Saquon there, especially when you had guys like Darnold and Allen and Rosen on the board. And obviously, we know how Rosen worked out, but still, we didn't know he was going to be a bust back then.
I wanted Rosen.
Yeah. I thought they were going to pick him, honestly. Even with Darnold on the board, I thought they were going to go with Rosen in that draft.
I wanted Darnold. I actually thought they would go Allen.
That would have been very nice.
In
an alternate universe, Josh
Allen,
quarterback for the Giants right now. And then I think about this Toney pick. I think Kadarius Toney's a good talent. I think they reached. I don't know if he was necessarily a top 20 pick. A lot of people had Elijah Moore valued higher than Toney. Rashad Bateman was valued higher than Toney. But they go off their scouting reports and scheme fits and whatnot. So it wasn't a crazy reach, but my biggest beef with that is just the trade down in general. What?
You got beef?
Yeah, I got beef. The trade down in general. I mean, trading down when Rashawn Slater's on the board, Elijah Vera Tucker's on the board, guys are on the board to help your football team and block your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, who this is basically his make or break year. This is Dave Gettleman's make or break year. And not only trading down and getting a first round pick for next year, which, kind of weird that Dave Gettleman's trying to build for next year when if I was him, I'd be trying to do everything right now. But anyways, not just not picking the offensive lineman at 11, not picking a lineman the whole draft. I mean, it's kind of crazy to me that they didn't, second round pickup or at least a third round pick, whatever. Did they even draft one the entire draft?
No, they didn't draft an offensive lineman in the 2021 draft. And it's funny because
it's crazy to me.
It's like, okay, you sit there after the draft and you say there were a lot of young guys. They started to play better toward the end of the year. You're getting, whatever it means, Nate Solder back, and you'll make whatever signings or trades you make. But it's funny that, right now, they're making all these scrambles to go get offensive linemen and they're doing what they can. They've made a couple of trades. They've made a couple of waiver. They've made a couple of pickups, whether it was to claim somebody or just to put somebody on their practice squad. It makes no sense to me that, like you just said, you had two guys who are, in my opinion, very, very good players that you could have added months ago. And then again, I like the first round pick. I like the insurance possibly of having to get a quarterback next year, but it makes no sense to me.
Right. I mean, who knows where that Bears pick's going to end up at, but
I think it'll be high.
Yeah. How high?
I don't like the Bears. I think it'll be
but I don't think they're going to be like a top. That's going to be a top 5 pick,
Mm-mm. I think anywhere from the 7 to 12 range.
I think if they need to go get a quarterback next year, if Daniel Jones doesn't pan out and they need to go get a quarterback, I think they're going to have to trade up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So do I.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows where the Giants end up? I think if Daniel Jones doesn't have a good year, I can't imagine that pick is, a low pick. They'd probably have a decently high pick. But yeah, I mean, we talk so much. I'm just kind of tired of speculating. Let's just go see what happens. Big year for the Giants this year. A lot of guys' jobs on the line. Dave Gettleman, Daniel Jones. Are we going to see if Joe Judge is a real deal or not? We liked what we saw last year. Is he going to, double down on that, keep showing improvements? Andrew Thomas has a lot of pressure on him this year, I think.
100%.
If he has another bad year, then we start talking bust.
Saquon Barkley. He's going to
coming off a major injury. Exactly.
He's going to be asking for that contract after this year.
Right.
So he's going to be back apparently for week 1. Honestly, I never really doubted it. I think this is all like a smokescreen. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to be a full go for week 1. Okay. And no doubt about it. I think the Giants win that game.
Mm-hmm. Kenny Galladay. A lot of pressure.
He's going to be fine, I think. I think he's going to play week 1. Yeah, there's pressure on Galladay for sure, but he got his money. So,
right.
But they think he's going to play as well. I like Tony. I think Tony's a very good player. I liked him before the draft, to be completely honest with you. So it's just it's the selection. It's the position selection is what I don't like. But I like the player. So we'll see.
So you like the Giants week 1, huh?
I had the Giants week 1 plus 2.5. I would take them on the money line. Yeah, and it was a pick 'em last week.
At home?
Yeah, it was a pick 'em. It was, whatever. The Broncos are favored by 1. So that's,
I think that's a winnable game for the Giants. Teddy Bridgewater is a quarterback for the Broncos, so it's not like, it's Teddy Bridgewater. It's nothing special.
Broncos got a good defense.
I think that Broncos team has a lot of question marks, though. The defense is good, but a couple guys, Von Miller, can he come back from an injury and perform at the level he's at? Bradley Chubb also
major injury.
Had injuries. But we'll see. And then the Broncos offense, talk about question marks. Jerry Jeudy. I think he's got to take care of those drop problems, obviously. And Cortland Sutton coming off a major knee injury. And now they have Melvin Gordon. Is how much of a workload is he going to have because they just drafted Javonte Williams. So, I don't know. You think the crazy thing about Drew Lock, like, where is this it for him? Like, is he just going to be a backup his whole career now? Is he like a Minshew now?
If he doesn't figure it out this season, because I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to start the whole year. If he doesn't figure it out, yes, he's going to be like a backup for the most part. I like Drew Lock. Early in the draft process, when they actually took Jones, I kind of wanted Drew Lock.
Right. He was thought about being a first-round pick. I think he was expected to be a first-round, not top 10 pick, but first round.
Late first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't wait for
that draft's not looking so high right now. Kyler Murray is like the only guy who is like a sure thing.
Yeah.
Even him, we don't know how good he's going to end up being.
Just wait until after this year.
Oh, when Daniel Jones finds himself working at McDonald's, or
here we go. A week from today, a week from Thursday. So 6 days from when you guys are listening, the NFL season kicks off. Cannot wait. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to get into some baseball, lots to get to. Like I said, the Mets just don't know how to stay out of the headlines. And a big performance from a big-time Yankee player when we come back after this. Here we go, episode 30. We are back. John Michael Messeri, Michael Merlin with you. We are going to get to Major League Baseball. We're going to start with the New York Yankees because they were on a little 4-game skid out in Anaheim, but Gerrit Cole, the stopper, the ace, with a massive performance, 15 strikeouts, 7 innings, and they get the win. I think it's the AL Cy Young race is weird. It's Cole to me right now. But a lot of people had thought it was Lance Lynn, including, GMs and scouts and managers around the league. If you asked them a week ago, there was a poll taken. They said it was Lance Lynn. I wouldn't even put Lance Lynn 2. I'd say Robbie Ray, who's having a great year, is 2. Yeah, and I think he's pretty close to Cole. But I think it's Cole right now, and I know how you feel, but I'll give you the floor here.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Lance Lynn, he leads the American League in ERA, and he leads the American League in ERA plus. Gerrit Cole leads the American League in wins. Take that with a grain of salt. I think we always do. But strikeouts, FIP, WHIP, hit per 9, strikeout per 9, strikeout to walk ratio. I mean, he's a sabermetric. Those aren't even sabermetrics, but FIP is. But he's like a sabermetric stream right now. He's striking guys out, making guys swing and miss. You just said he had a 15 strikeout performance. And I think Robbie Ray's his biggest competition. He's right up there with the strikeouts and everything. And fun fact, Robbie Ray now, remember we were talking about Yu Darvish, what happened to his
I was just gonna say this,
all-time strikeouts? Now it's Robbie Ray, which is crazy. We always
Robbie
knew he had
freaking
nasty
Ray.
stuff when he pitched in Arizona, but it was just the walks. He would just walk guys like crazy. And he never really put it together. And this season, he's been putting it together. And I believe he's a free agent at the end of the season.
Yes, he is. He's going to get himself paid.
He's going to get
time.
a nice contract from somebody that needs starting pitching.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think it's Cole. I think Cole's the best pitcher in the American League. He was a lot of people's preseason prediction to be the AL Cy Young. He's just a dominant ace, and I think it's Lance Lynn's had a great year, but so is Robbie Ray. Season ended today. I'm going Gerrit Cole.
So am I, and it's crazy. Like, you listen, Lynn has been really, really good, but like, how do you look at? And I'm taking Cole out of this. How do you say Ray is ahead of him?
I don't know.
Like, that makes no sense to me.
The best thing about Ray's game is his strikeouts, and Cole leads the MLB in strikeouts per 9. So I don't get it. The only thing I would say is people look at WAR, and I like WAR, pitcher WAR. I'm not crazy about it. I think hitter WAR is way better. Robbie Ray, let's pull it up real quick. I believe Robbie Ray is a higher WAR than Gerrit Cole does on baseball, right? Yeah, his B WAR is 6.1 and Cole's is 5.4. But then if you look at their F WAR, Cole's is higher. So that's the only thing he's got going for him, I guess. I mean, the ERAs are right there. Rays is 0.02 points lower, but Cole's got more innings. Cole's got more strikeouts. He's got a better whip, better hit per 9, all that stuff.
No, please give it to Robbie Ray. He's got a lower ERA, please.
Yeah. No, by 0.02.
Yeah, I remember Yankee fans, and not only Yankee fans, but other people when the sticky stuff thing came out. Oh my God, do we have to worry about this contract being terrible? And it's just like laughable at this point to even think that was a conversation. Oh yeah, but not even that. Just like everybody's going to have to adjust. So it just like the market would have corrected itself. That's what it would have been. I heard a conspiracy theory, just to switch topics for a minute, about Jacob deGrom. And it was brought to my attention on Sunday. And I can't get it out of my head. This person thinks that he is holding himself out because he's not paid enough.
Why would he do that exactly?
The only thing that makes sense is every time he goes for an MRI, there's no structural damage. And the last couple of times, it's like, oh, he's progressing, but he's not pitching. He's not throwing. Like, that's what it's been the last couple of times. It's been slightly fishy. I don't know how much I believe it, but
so you think he's just like making up that he's sore and stuff like that?
I don't know. I mean, the fact that he goes and gets an MRI and has no structural damage every single time, and thank God, and the fact that they say, there's nothing wrong, but he can pitch, like the inflammation's down, but he can't pitch, like it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I think please don't get too wrapped up in that. I think that's just someone seeing a non-story and trying to turn it into a story. Does he lose money by not playing? Because I know teams get insurance, but I don't think that necessarily means the players lose the money.
No, the team will get insurance, like you said, but they won't lose that money. No, I don't believe it. I just heard it. That's all.
And it's not like, it's not like Jacob deGrom. Like, he signed an extension. He's making a decent amount of money, and he agreed to sign the extension.
He's making 30 a year, I think, or it's close to it.
Yeah, so that's not. Yeah, please don't read into that.
No, I'm not like getting all caught up on it, but it's interesting.
You literally just said that you haven't stopped thinking about it.
I'm not believing it, but it can't get out of my head. Like, whenever I think about him now, I think of that, but I don't believe it. Like, I don't think that that's the reason why he's
I
pitching.
don't think Jacob deGrom would do that either. Like, I don't
Neither do I. That was the other thing.
do that.
Exactly. He doesn't seem like that type.
He
of
seems
person.
like a guy who just goes out there every fifth day and does his job, and he's like a quiet guy. I don't know. He's not like a Trevor Bauer.
Seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet him. I haven't met a lot of celebrities.
Really?
Yeah, not many.
It's a shame. You should work on that.
I met Chris Berman.
Get him on the show. DM him. Be like, yo, DeGrom, I've never met you.
Oh, do you want me to DM? You want me to DM DeGrom?
Yeah.
He's not really big on the social media.
Get his email. Something.
Oh, yeah, please. Yeah. I'll handwrite a letter and deliver it to his mailbox.
Yeah, like fan mail.
Yeah, exactly.
Draw a picture of him or something.
Here we go. Yankees got to sweep this series, huh? Right, against Baltimore.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 3-game set. I think, they obviously need to win at least 2, especially it's at home. I don't think it really matters home or away against the Orioles. But yeah.
Confidence.
I'd say I'd say they need to sweep 2 out of 3. Honestly, that 4-game losing streak, it was just like weird. Like, it didn't even feel like we lost 4 in a row. Coming off that big winning streak, it was just like, oh, well, we lost, like, whatever. We were in every game, like, playing decently. And, we were talking about Gerrit Cole having such an amazing season. Aaron Judge has literally been like the best player in the American League the past month, and he's really putting together an MVP type season. He's not going to win it because Ohtani's just having a better year than him. And, other guys like, I think Vlad's really slipped down the ladder in MVP. I mean, you can make a decent argument that he's not even the best player having the best season on his team right now. Marcus Semion's having like a ridiculous year too. Not offensively, but if you look at the WAR numbers and everything like that, I think he has a higher WAR, and he's a way better defender. He could steal bases. He does like everything, Semyon. But
Vlad's leading the league in on base, OPS plus, total bases. Still gonna go and hits and runs scored. So I'll stick with Vlad at 2.
Yeah, me too.
And probably on his team, because also I think Simeon's dropped a little bit.
I thought Simeon's up to 32 home runs and he's got a 5-something WAR. And
yeah, but he hasn't been as good lately. I'd have checked numbers because I was looking at him as a possible free agent target for the Mets.
Right.
His WAR. Listen, I'm not taking away from his season. He's having an absolutely phenomenal season, probably the best of his career.
Mm-hmm.
But I had saw and thought recently that he was not playing as well as he was.
Right.
But I'll look right now, and I could be definitely wrong.
And Cedric Mullins is still having a ridiculous year.
Cedric Mullins his numbers are a little down. It's not like crazy, but his numbers are a little down this second.
Batting 306, 24 homers, 25 stolen bases, 900 OPS, 5 WAR, 141 OPS plus. That's a damn good season.
Good for the Orioles. They got one of their, they got a franchise player there.
Yeah, well,
100%. And
they're gonna need a couple more.
Yeah, I like Mountcastle too. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, I think he's solid. There's not really much to grasp onto on that team, though.
No, except Cedric.
He's aging, and I don't know what his contract looks like.
Cedric's,
at least, Chris Davis retired. They got that going for him.
Yeah, except they have to pay $2 million for the next, 10 years or whatever. It is 20 to pay.
We're officially in the month where baseball goes on the back burner for a little bit.
And it's funny because it's the end and there's going to be a lot of really close races, which I want to kind of talk about. But yeah, you're right. It goes right, second fiddle.
All of a sudden it's fantasy football, it's football season and fantasy football and college football. And this, it takes over. Football takes over. But yeah, like you said, there's going to be a bunch of tight races, and we could talk about that right now. The Rays are running away with the division right now. I mean, they won't stop winning.
They lost 2 in a row though to Boston.
Yes, they did. But they also made the lead up to 7 games, 8 games.
It was up to 8. It's actually down to 6.5 right now.
Right. The AL Central is just about wrapped up.
Luis Robert looks like a beast.
AL West is still up for grabs, but Houston's got a pretty good lead now. Oakland has not been playing well over the past month. NL East is definitely still in play. The Phillies are red hot right now. The Mets have put together a nice winning streak here.
Oh, yeah, baby.
But that's really it. No crazy divisional. The NL East is the closest division right now. But
you think?
Yeah, it is. If you look at it by games back and everything, it's definitely.
Oh, not the NL West with the 2 teams at the top of that.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah,
that reminded me. You know what it was? Because I went on the standings and it said no games back for the Giants. So I just I didn't see there were any games back, so it just went through my head.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And then you have the NL wild card race, which is it's a race for second place because the Giants / Dodgers are 13.5 games up. Which is insane. Just crazy. They both are tied for the best record in baseball, and they're in the same division.
And one of them's gonna have to play in that wonderful wild card game.
Right. Okay. How opposed are you to like an NBA playoff format? Not necessarily the amount of teams, just winning your division doesn't really matter. Kind of a setup for the MLB.
I'm not okay with that.
Yeah,
because I think teams I think the Yankees, I'm just using them as an example. I think the Yankees are going to do everything in their power to go for the division because I think they want to try and avoid that playing game. So I think there should be an incentive to, not play in that wild card game and have to win your division.
Right. I agree. I think it makes for better quality baseball, more exciting races and stuff like that. So I agree. I'm not a big fan of that.
It's a good question, though. It's very interesting.
Are you falling asleep right now?
No, I'm not even. You know what's funny? It's I'm not tired to the point where I would go to sleep. It's just my eyes keep closing. It's weird. Wow. I'm wide awake with my eyes shut. I am wide awake. My eyes are shut, wide awake. I could talk for as long as possible. My eyes are just tired. I'm just
okay. It's very weird.
Listen. I went to bed at 12:30 last night. I woke up at 6:30. I gotta wake up at 6:50 tomorrow. It's 12:48 right now.
Aw, Mikey, a little tired.
Yeah, at least one of us is working, making the money here.
Oh yeah, baby. I got 10:40 class tomorrow. I'm chilling.
I got 6:50 work tomorrow.
Oh, new Drake album dropped. I can't wait to listen to that.
Oh, here we go. What else is there? Did a prominent what's the word I'm looking for?
Wait a minute. Did it drop? All right, I don't see it out on Apple Music right now, so that's a problem.
Oh, don't you cry. Did a prominent executive in New York with a big job get arrested or anything? No, right?
No.
That couldn't have happened on top of everything.
Did we just completely skip that story?
No, I had it written down. We just didn't start with it.
Oh, okay.
We started with the Yankees. I thought I would start with the Yankees.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't think anything. The Mets wouldn't do anything to shoot themselves in the foot right now.
No, the Mets wouldn't want to be, front page news again.
No.
There's no. Oh, Zach Scott got arrested.
Who got arrested?
The Mets general manager.
Really?
Yeah, it's DUI. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And on top of it, he never told the team.
Hold on. Yeah, he wasn't. What was he doing? He was at the bar or something? He was just coming from a nightclub.
No, this was the original thing that he was coming from Steve Cohen's house. He got arrested 8 hours after that.
Yeah, but he slept in his car.
Yeah, I think he probably went to a bar and then slept in his car. There's no way from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock he's just, still hammered.
Well, maybe he took a couple of beers with him to go or something.
Steve Collins like, hey, a couple road sodas.
Yeah, why not? Here.
So Zach Scott, Mets general manager, got arrested for DUI late Monday night, early Tuesday morning, and he decided to not tell anybody. The news broke Wednesday afternoon at about 3:30. He didn't inform the team. The team found out Wednesday morning, and it's where we are. They placed him on administrative leave, and Sandy Alderson will run the team for a little bit.
You guys need to send Theo Epstein the most phenomenal presentation he's ever seen in his life. You need to send him millions of dollars in cash, whatever you can do to get that man to New York. Because
I want Theo. Don't get me wrong. I want Theo. First of all, Sandy Alderson's got to go.
Yeah.
Done. I'm done. He's got to be out of the organization. And obviously, Scott and Rojas and everybody that works for them, they all got to be fired. There was a name brought up today, which I am very interested in. And Theo's my number one guy, but this guy would definitely be my number two. David Stearns. He is he runs the Brewers.
What do you mean, the GM or?
I think he's the GM. He's 36. He's a graduate of Harvard. Very smart man, very impressive, and they think a lot of people within Major League Baseball think he's the next big time executive.
All right, quick question for you. Why would David Stearns want to leave the Brewers to go to the Mets to do the same exact job?
Well, I'm going to just look up what David Stearns' exact title is right now, but I think he would want to leave the Brewers to get complete full control of the Mets. And he is the president of baseball operations there. Oh, here's the kicker. He's a Mets fan.
He's
from New York.
Okay.
He's from New York.
Yeah. Well, and, I mean, I think at one point you got to kind of put your fandom aside and be like, hey, I'm doing a good job here in Milwaukee. Good job security.
It's New York.
Yeah, but
you embrace that opportunity.
Brewers are like having a great season, winning the division right now. He's in a really good spot. Why would he want to go to New York? And then he could screw it up, lose his job, and now he's no more GM for anybody.
Well, you see, if people lived life that way, this world wouldn't be great.
No, people can take risks. That is an unnecessary risk.
I don't think it is. I think Stearns, I don't know. You're going to offer him more money. You're going to offer him more control. I think that, and he grew up in New York. I think it's not crazy.
Well, he can't be that bright of a guy if he grew up in New York and wasn't a Yankee fan.
Oh, here we go. Taking a shot.
Yeah, I had to.
You talking bad about my dad there?
Yeah. Yeah, your dad.
Well, my grandpa, actually.
Grandpa. All Mets fans.
Yeah, here we go. So yeah, the Mets, they've won 5 straight, technically 4, because one of the games that they won was a suspended game, which all the stats and records go back to April, which is when the game was supposed to be played. But technically, the Mets have won 5 straight games. They are 5 games out of the division, 5 games out of the wild card. It is September 3rd. I think we're back.
Closing your eyes again.
Oh my God. No, I'm not closing my eyes.
Stop
you also can't see it because of the lighting. Like, you hear me talking in full sentences, complete sentences.
But I don't want to. Yeah, the Mets are doing a really good job there. They won 5 in a row. Like, it's weird.
It's not. You just need to get over it, is what I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're back again for like the 4th time.
Stop saying you're back.
We're back. I think so. I think
you're
they're back
if you get within 3 games.
Okay, so 2 days from now. Okay,
2 days if the Braves lose 2 in a row and you win 2 in a row, yeah.
You think I'm worried about the Phillies? Phillies come to town 2 weekends from now. That's a sweep.
It's probably not.
That's a domination sweep. You think I'm worried about the Phillies?
You should be. They swept you.
Yankees coming to town next weekend. You think I'm worried about that? No.
You should be.
Sweep.
Okay. I like.
Don't worry about anybody.
You know, I appreciate your optimism.
I'm not worried about anybody.
Okay.
I like my team. No, I'm kidding. If you want my honest opinion, I think there are a lot of guys on this team that have to go.
I think we've made that clear.
Yeah, definitely clear. I think there's a lot of people that have to go. But listen, the thing with this team is it's so annoying because they've pitched well all year. Their bullpen's been really, really good all year. It's the fact that they can't get this big hit. Like they'll have guys on base and they'll be down 1, they'll be down 2, or whatever it is in the game, and they cannot get the big hit to get those guys home. That's what the most frustrating part about this team is. So if they find a way to get the big hit down the stretch with the way they've been pitching, bullpen and starting rotation wise, I mean, I could see a run to, make a push here to the postseason.
I think that's such an underrated thing. Like you said, hitting with runners in scoring position, situational hitting, because the Yankees were the same thing. They couldn't get the big hit. And then this past win streak they went on, it was 2-out rallies, getting guys in scoring position, driving them in. And it's like night and day with an offense like that. So obviously, when you have better hitting, your situational hitting should be better, but that's not necessarily always true. But situational hitting is so crucial, and that's where the Mets have fell short this year.
Yeah, well, I think we're back, and hopefully next week when we come back, we'll do our predictions on Monday. But we'll be talking about the Mets being back. So that'll do it for episode 30. But episode 31, which will be recorded on Monday and out on Tuesday, it's going to be a big episode. We're going to do our NFL predictions, and we have a little bit of an announcement that'll be coming up Monday night, though. A little tease there, what they like to call in the business, a little tease.
Okay, yeah.
So we're very excited for Monday and just the whole week. We got fantasy drafts up the wazoo. And the start of the NFL season. Anything you got to say?
No, happy Labor Day weekend.
Yes, definitely. Enjoy the weekend, and we will talk to you guys next week.